Okay, we have a few people, so we'll go ahead and get started. Raise your hand and we'll call on you for questions for JJ. Mike?
Hey, JJ, do you have any clarity on whether or not you're going to Eurobasket in the upcoming weeks or not?
Yeah, I'm going. So, AT, I'm going. I actually leave tomorrow after the game. So, yeah, I am going.
Thank you.
No problem.
Brendan?
Hi, John Quell. We had a chance to talk to Dawana the other day, and before we let her go, she brought up how great Brianna Jones has been. She's been your glue, really, offensively and defensively. Can you speak to more of that and what she means in terms of how you guys have been able to execute on both ends?
Yeah, Breezy is important for our team. We knew that she could do this. I've played against her in Prague overseas. I've seen Breezy in practice, all these years with her being on our team. And it's just what she does. She's a very tough player. She's taken on the best post players for every team in terms of like their centers. She went against Sil, then she went against Cambage, and like she's just been ready every night to go. And I think her physicality, I know her physicality has been a difference maker for us. Her level-headedness, her ability to be able to shoot the mid-range jumper when defenses are sagging in on me, getting to the ring, finishing strong. So, yeah, Breezy has been amazing. But I also feel like a lot of times the refs really they're not as familiar with her game as they should be. And so a lot of times she's making strong post moves and they're calling like offensive fouls and different stuff like that. But it's just a strong move. So I feel like once they allow her to play even more, she's going to soar even more and, just have even better numbers. But she's been the glue for us. That game against Seattle, you watched that game. She carried us the first half. She was the one that was on. She was sealing. She was ready to go. So Breezy is definitely going to.
Thank you.
No problem.
Rafiq?
Yeah, the Liberty have shown perseverance the last few games, even though they're on a 2-game losing streak. What are your team is doing to make sure that the Liberty don't show any perseverance against you guys tonight?
Just sticking to the game plan, understanding that they have, I guess they have like a small ball lineup. They have guards playing post position. So me specifically, I'm going to be challenged being able to keep guards in front of me, playing defense that way. And understanding that even though offensively it gives them some advantages, defensively it gives them disadvantages. So being able to exploit those disadvantages, getting the ball inside, being strong, making sure that we understand our matchups and know who we want to be matched up with in transition, limiting the tempo of the game because they have the fastest pace in the league. So we want to make sure that we're playing in our tempo and not really taking bad shots that allow them to get out in transition. So a few of those things.
And since you're going to be going away to play Euro basketball, what are some of the advice and encouragement that you give to your teammates as they look to continue where you left off when you were playing?
Yeah, just that they have the pieces that they need to be successful. They have everything they need to hold it down until I get back, and I believe in them. I trust them, and I'll be watching and cheering them on.
Thank you for your time.
No problem.
Any other questions for JJ?
I have one more.
Okay, Brendan.
Thanks. JJ, do you hear the? I'm just curious what you make of it. Do you hear the MVP stuff, and what do you say to that when you hear like your name in the MVP discussion? Do you try to put it aside, or how do you handle that?
No, I don't put it aside. I feel like it's interesting. I feel like I've worked hard, and I'm happy to be in that conversation. But I also know that it's a conversation that doesn't happen if your team isn't winning basketball games. So it's early in the season. The MVP is a consistency thing. It's a team thing, even though people don't really think of it that way. Your team has to win basketball games, and you have to be a player that's going to keep your team in the contention for being like the best in the league and stuff like that. So I'm excited about it. It's good to be able to be in that conversation, but I understand that it's a long season ahead, so I don't get too high or too low about it.
Thanks.
No problem.
Thanks, JJ. You're all set.
Thank you, guys. See ya.
Get started. Rafiq, we'll start off with you.
Since Jonquel Jones is going to be out due to playing Euro basketball, what do you plan to do to step up for your team?
I mean, I always try to step up whenever I'm on the court, whether that's trying to help us get extra possessions through rebounding, through steals, through just increasing the intensity. But obviously, JJ and I don't play the same position. So I think it's going to fall on a lot of us just to everybody give a little bit more. And I think we'll be able to make up that difference.
And how you guys are up for the challenge going up against a persevered New York Liberty team?
I mean, I think it's always a two-way street. They have to be ready to guard us and be up for the challenge to compete against us. So we never come into any game intimidated by any of our opponents. So we're excited.
Thank you.
Others for Brandon?
Hi, Dejanay. I hope you're well. I just wanted to ask about your former teammate at Baylor. You'll see Dee tonight. Just, of course, a great story how she rallied or she recovered from that awful being paralyzed temporarily and then coming back and having a great season with you. Just what does she mean to you, and how close are you guys? Do you still talk frequently?
Yeah, Dee and I are really close. We're best friends. We literally clicked before I even got to Baylor. She actually took a vacation to San Diego, and that's where I'm from, and that's where we met. So since like last July when we first met, but I'm really excited to see her. I'm so happy that she is doing well, and I mean, just out there on the floor. Obviously, she had that scary collision, but also just nicks and bruises along the season, and I mean, in the Elite Eight game, you know, just things like that. So I'm definitely just so happy that she's out there and healthy, and I'm excited to see her. Obviously, I want to win, but I want to see her do well always.
Great, thank you.
Rafiq?
I know you're focused on playing against the entire team as a whole, but how much have you always looked up to Sabrina Ionescu's career from her college days up until her first few weeks in the WNBA?
I mean, we're the same class, so it's never really been looking up to. But she's a great player. We're good friends, and she has done so much, especially at the college level and already here in the WBA. So I'm excited to see her again and compete against her. Obviously, I competed against her for 4 years in the Pac-12 and in high school. We're both from California, so played against her a lot, but I'm excited to see her and excited to play against her.
Yeah. Any other questions for Dejanay? Okay, thank you so much. You're all set.